Hey guys, it's Monday. The only question on my mind is, have you hugged a Nerdfighter today? I saw Toy Story 3, which was so good, by the way. If you haven't seen it, you have to go. It's so good. I loved it. It was amazing. We're talking about things from our childhood that we really liked. I wrote a whole list so I don't forget any of it. Sorry about the weird lighting. It's super rainy and weird today. The first is Buddy. He's my very favorite. Always has been, always will be. This is one of my American Girl dolls. This is the first one I ever got. She's supposed to be just like me. Another thing I really liked is Playmobil. Also, I especially liked the animals. They're these German rubber animals, the name of which I can't say, or I would. Brio train sets. Weaving train sets and stations and bridges and turny aroundy things. I had a bunch of favorite books. Starting out with this one. It's called One Golden Year. This is the first book that I remember ever considering to be one of my favorite books. Roald Dahl's books. I love Miss Pigglewiggle. This little random Clue Junior book. Secrets of Droon. Puppies in the Pantry. And it looks like Buddy, see? So the Littles books. It's about the little tiny mouse-sized people. And the Magic Treehouse books I'm sure you've read. I have Pinkie Pie by Eleanor Estes. Okay, this is gonna look totally lame. Adventures of Mary Kate and Ashley books. Just because I still remember the day I got this book and I loved going into Barnes & Noble. The smell of Barnes & Noble is my life. It's the reason for living. So we went to Barnes & Noble and I got this book. I remember reading to my parents out of it. And then this other weird thing that I still love, it's so weird, but I really love getting into hot cars that have been sitting in the parking lots in the sun. Voyage of the Basset is by James C. Christensen. It's absolutely the coolest book ever. Also, I loved the Tintin comics. I loved Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood. I used to base my time off of Mr. Rogers. I'd be like, Mom, how long till we go to get Zoe? And then she'd be like, it's gonna be 3 Mr. Rogers. And then I'd know that it was gonna be an hour and a half. I love Arthur. I also really loved playing teacher. And my sister's high heels. They were probably this high. I love dry erase board markers. Office supplies of any sort I was just obsessed with. Also playing business. I liked playing store and I always really wanted a cash register. I especially loved the scanners. I was a pretty business-oriented little girl, I guess. No, I used to listen to Madeline tapes. Frere Jacques, Frere Jacques. I knew things like Cat Said Mew Mew. I was totally gonna be just fluent in French. I've taken Spanish every year since. The Prince of Egypt soundtrack, I still listen to it. Other than that, the one thing I still really love that I loved when I was a kid is taking things from my sister. Just anything. She'd have to bribe me to go away, so she'd end up giving me anything. Her books or her dolls. I wanted to play with her toys, stuffed animals, things that aren't mine. And now I take her clothes, so it's the same. It's cool. It's good. Other than that, really, I just wanted to say happy Hug a Nerdfighter Day. I don't know if you've hugged a Nerdfighter yet today, because I don't really know any other Nerdfighters. Cyber hug to you guys. I was gonna write a song about Hug a Nerdfighter Day. Probably would have been really awesome. I already have way too much from this video that I'm gonna have to cut down on. Okay, one more thing, because I'm that ADD. I use my sister's computer to edit this. So I went into her room, and she had some stuff stacked up on top of it, so I take it off so I can take her computer, and I see Zac Efron and his abs! I don't know if you guys like Zac Efron, you probably don't. Most people are like, ew, what's not to love? You know. So if you hate Zac Efron and at least appreciate he's good looking, if not, you should see Me and Orson Welles. He was in it. It was a good movie. Also, Charlie St. Cloud is coming out soon, and I have hope that it's going to be good. I think he's going to be a good actor. I have hope for Zac Efron. I'm sorry, spaz moment. I had to tell you it was funny. I was literally like, whoa! If I could be Miss Pigglewiggle, I would.